Welcome everybody to 80 Different Directions. I'm Jambo Cloud. Christian's not here. He's having a wonderful weekend with his mom. Welcome to the first ever edition of Jambo's Rant of Common Sense. Now, I was working on ideas, developing another video that I was going to be putting out next, which I'm not going to mention here, because it may take a couple of days just to, there's some fine tuning that's got to go on with that one. And right in the middle of all of it, I'm watching some clips from Fox News on YouTube. And I don't know, God just kind of stopped me right in my tracks. And man, he started burning this on my heart. And I knew a video like this would be coming soon. And by the way, this video is probably geared more towards the adults. Now, it's not to say that kids can't watch it, because they can. I mean, there's not going to be anything in here that, isn't available to watch on news, or that they're going to hear in their church or hear from you guys, the parents. It's probably more to say that they're just not going to understand or be as interested in this. So it's probably going to be more geared towards the big kids in the room. But it's hard for me to even really know where to begin. What is wrong with people in this country today, and even over in Europe? I watched Tesla come out, I don't know, 10, 15, whatever years ago that it was. I'll have the answer right there. And I got all these liberal Democrats and people crying about climate change and global warming. A lot of you probably remember Al Gore coming out with his carbon footprint nonsense. Hey, buy carbon footprints here. They wanted you to spend money to purchase a non-existing carbon footprint maker-upper for whatever the term is. So basically, I didn't pay much attention to me, because right off the base of it, it sounded like the dumbest thing I'd ever freaking heard. And it's probably another example of, what do they call that? Just the guilty conscience, trying to make up for, I'm preaching to you guys about global warming and then while I'm flying around in my $3 million private jet and burning carbons all over space and the atmosphere. But here's how we can do it and not feel guilty about it. Purchase this carbon footprint. Now, don't ask where the money's going. Don't ask. You don't need to know. All you know is you're going to buy this. We're going to give you a certificate. And then when anybody says, hey, you're making too much carbon, you can go, look at this right here. Right here. I've got this certificate right here that says that the money that I paid makes up for the guilt I feel about the carbon I'm emitting. Sorry. So therefore, I'm not guilty of that. Yeah, see, the problem with that is who collected the money? I would assume it's Al Gore. He put the whole thing through, right? It kind of started this whole trend of let's make everybody feel guilty about something that's going to happen on its own either way. And I hate to break the news to you guys, but the climate's not going to get better. I mean, the Bible's pretty explicit that everything, every blade of grass, every tree, every plant is going to be burned to a crisp. So, I mean, you can recycle, you can worry about your carbon emissions and your greenhouse gases and all this other. It's going to happen anyways. It's going to make you feel good for a little while. It's going to make you feel a little bit less guilty. But what really it boils down to is everybody worshiping the freaking planet instead of the almighty God that created the planet in the first place. And here's the kicker, people. He created it for us, right? So, I mean, the whole 6 days of creation, It wasn't like, he went the first 5 days and created everything. And then all of a sudden, on the 6th day, he goes, what am I going to do with this big, massive ball of stuff that I just sit spinning through space, which I also just created? Oh, let's put people on it. Yeah. And hope they don't screw the planet up, because if they do, well, I'm just going to have to kill them all. No, see, that's not the way it worked. The planet was created for us to thrive in. And I'm sorry for all you non-beef eaters, man. You guys are missing some delicious food, because I hate to break the news to you. And here's another thing. Animals aren't equal to people. And let me ask you this question. Now, if your house was burning down and your cat was in there, and I'm there on the scene, and I can come in and rescue one of you. Now, you're probably a little farther away than the cat is. The cat's right there by the door, because that's just what cats do. I go screaming in there, and you saying, your cat's equal to you. I can only rescue one. Would you like it if I rescued the cat and left you in there to burn? You go, oh, you can't do that. Oh, but aren't you equal? Right? If the cat is equal to you, then I can only pick one. Why not just rescue the cat and leave you in there? It's just as equal to you. Oh, but now, see, when it comes down to that, suddenly the cat's not as equal, because your life is hanging in the balance, right? Well, that leads me to my next point. Everything you do in life, you should understand that your spiritual life hangs in the balance. In recent things, with the government, Doge, Elon Musk, praise God for that dude. He's going in and just uncovering billions. What he says he's going to get to like $1 trillion or whatever by the time he's done in fraud, waste, and spending. He's well on his way there. And then, now you have the same people, as I mentioned earlier, that were touting for me to buy a Tesla to save my carbon footprint, that now have demonized Tesla because they're pissed off at Elon Musk, who is allegedly stealing. And by the way, if this rant gets a little sideways, well, it's because my brain probably works faster than my mouth, and I get distracted by bright, shiny objects. It just is what it is. But these same people are now telling you to sell your Tesla. Okay, well, if I needed the Tesla to save the greenhouse gas, but then now you're pissed off because you're saying Trump and Elon Musk are stealing, so I'm supposed to either get rid of my Tesla or you're going to burn it up and destroy it. Doesn't that kind of mean that you never really gave a crap about the climate in the first place? It was another one of your little happy little scams to run a bunch of money through the budget and get some grant to some bogus NGO that doesn't even do anything except take that money, send it through 800 different other NGOs to wash it as clean as white, and then it ends back up in the person's pocket that actually put it through in the first place. So they don't really care about, what they care about? They care about stealing your money. Now, it used to be my money, but I am retired now due to health issues, so I'm basically living off the taxes that I paid in my whole life, which, thank God, by the way, I worked my entire life because I at least had a little bit to fall back on. But it's your money now, your tax money, and it goes up there, and so Elon Musk is uncovering all this fraud, and these people are holding up their Musk steal signs. And to me, here's a nice little happy colloquialism. I think I said that right. Maybe colloquialism might be a little bit extreme for this example, or I'll give you a few of them. But it's the closest thing I could find that actually sort of fits what this is. And now, if you guys don't know what a colloquialism is, it usually generally applies to a single words or a group of words, you know, where you can replace slang with a normal proper English word, and the same point gets across. One's a little more absurd than the other, like, I am not going to do that. Well, the colloquialism of that is, I ain't going to do that thing. See, I mean, two different ways to say it, a little slang in the second one, but yet it still gets to the same point. Although one sounds a little more absurd than the other one does. So to use that analogy, to use the analogy of a colloquialism, basically what they're saying, Musk is uncovering fraud. He's stealing. I don't know of Musk ever taking money that he's looking at with Doge and putting it into his personal bank account. That's not stealing. So basically what these people are doing, the colloquialism of Musk is uncovering fraud and he's stealing, kind of the equivalent from, you know, a classic line in an old Cheech and Chong movie, and I don't remember which one it is. I might put it up there. I don't know. Hey man, that dude ripped off what I ripped off. That's basically it. Those people are pissed because they're saying Elon Musk is stealing, but if he's stealing, the only thing he's doing is basically uncovering all their crap, fraud scheme, NGO money laundering schmata, and taking stolen money out of their pocket. That's not stealing. It's stopping them from stealing. So, I mean, where's the common sense here? Can any liberal give me a valid argument about what the problem is with stopping them from stealing taxpayer dollars? But you guys like paying $2 trillion a year in just interest on our federal debt? You want to know why? You got Nancy Pelosi. I don't know how old she is, but I'll put her name right up there, or her age right up there. And Chuck Schumer, who I don't think is quite as old as Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I'll put his name right up there. And then you got Jasmine Crockett. She's in her 40s. And of course, you know, everybody knows AOC. Yeah. And then there's a Muslim lady that's a congresswoman or a senator, I don't know which one, from Minnesota. I'll put it up there. Who come into Congress not rich. They have a salary of like $175,000 a year to $200,000 a year. I think the senators might get paid a little more than congressmen, but they come in there. They're there in office for 2 years, and after that 2 years, off of $175,000 a year, let's just say if they kept all their money, didn't spend a dime, and just saved it up tax-free. I mean, do the math. That's $350,000, something like that. 300, yeah, I think it's $350,000. And now that lady from Minnesota has $83 million in her bank account. Oh, one that she denied at first. But then, you know, Musk and his theft, basically what he stole was her privacy. And she couldn't cover up. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. I mean, here's the thing. The people that are screaming the loudest are usually the ones that are the guiltiest. And this is one thing I've experienced in my lifetime. Anytime somebody has done me really, really wrong, generally, when they know it's so bad that any common friends we have are going to lose their mind over how bad it is that they're doing what they're doing, the common thing that they do is they go out ahead of it. They try to keep the friends collected on their side that they can, blah, 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 and they just start spewing their version of the nonsense of 99.999% of is a lie and a spin, just so they can try to soil you. Because I personally, I'm not going to go out and defend myself. Now, if somebody else says something really bad about me, and nobody wants to confront me with it directly, well then, yeah, I'm not going to go defend myself to you. That's a waste of my breath. But the point is, that person is the one that was in the wrong. That person is the one that started screaming from the hilltops. That person is the one who reinvented an entire story to reflect them in a better light. And that's the one who has usually committed the biggest faux pas. You got the same thing going on with the congresswomen and men and the senators in our government. Always beware of somebody that answers a question that you didn't ask. When they start offering an answer to a question that you didn't ask, red flags should be going up all over the place. And by the way, listen to the answer they give you, because in most cases, that person just gave themselves away in everything they're doing. And if you're smart enough to pay attention to those tiny little details that everybody dismisses it as insignificant, that's where you'll find the truth in any given situation, because the truth is in those little details. I heard a quote once that said, the lies are loud as thunder. It's the truth that's quiet and silent. Yeah, pack that away in your lunchbox. So, another absurdity that we got with this, is the biggest problem with people thinking, well, I believe this. And it doesn't matter if it's correct or not, but I believe it, and I'm going to go to you, and even though you know it not to be the truth, I'm going to expect you to believe it, and if you don't, I'm going to ostracize you and boot you out. That's a pretty broad cover of the situation, but another colloquialism on this situation, and I'm going to close this video out, because I could be sitting here going on forever. And if you've made it this far, well, then I've at least piqued your interest, because I'll go back and go into a lot of details. And by the way, if any of you want to dispute anything I'm saying, come to me, not with an angry attitude and a name-calling person. You bring some facts. I'm more than happy to talk about facts, as long as we got the truth out on the table. Which kind of leads me to the colloquialism that I'm building up here. And yeah, I got a little sidetracked, but oh yeah, my truth is my truth. The truth is whatever you believe your truth to be. No, it's not. Truth is a truth. And so you got to ask yourself, do you want to believe what you want to believe? Or do you want to know what the absolute truth is, even if you don't like it? And believe me, I'm not foreign from wandering away from the Lord and going off and doing a lot of stupid things in my life. He always brought me back to center, but yeah, I've made plenty of mistakes. I made one of the biggest mistakes ever when I was 20 years old. Estranged from my oldest daughter, and don't even get to see my two granddaughters. You know why? Because I'm still paying for that mistake that I made as a kid to this day. But I never tried to make myself feel comfortable about the mistake I made. God put it right up to my face, and I owned it right from the beginning. I learned from it. Never made that mistake again. Now, I've made plenty of other ones. But I also don't run around trying to make excuses for my actions and somehow justify them, even when they're not good, but I want them to be good. So the colloquialism to this one is, hey, oh, that's a nice wall. Yeah, isn't that wall nice? It's nice and white. We just painted it. I don't believe that wall's white. What do you mean? It's white. It's right there. You can see the paint. No, I don't like white. It doesn't make me feel good. So in my belief system, I'm going to believe that wall is blue. Yeah, but it's not really blue. It's white. Yeah, but see, in my reality, what I believe is what reality really is. And that's my truth. You can have your truth, and I can have my truth. And to me, the truth is that wall is blue. No, it's not your truth and my truth. It's the truth. And the truth is the freaking wall is white, and you're an idiot. Oh, yeah, the wall. Oh, you don't think the wall is blue? Oh, you're a Nazi. You're racist. Oh, we got the no blue wall racist over here. No, the wall is not blue, and as much as you hate to believe it, it sucks to believe it. Oh, the truth hurts, does it? But the wall is freaking white. It's the same thing with a lot of things that are going on in society today. And I'm not going to dive much further into a lot more things because we'll save them for the next Jambo rant of common sense. But people, I'm just getting started. And there's a lot more coming. And I welcome anybody who has a different argument. If you have facts to support your argument, and I'll be the first one, man. If you pop something up and you're like, hey, dude, come on. Here's the evidence. You're kind of wrong here. Okay, cool. I'm wrong. But bring the evidence. I mean, I generally try to at least know my subject matter to the point to where it's the more knowledge I gain, the more that stupidity of liberals angers me, because they get on my TV, they lie to my face, they try to tell me something is true that I know for a fact isn't true. And then they're pissed off at me because I don't believe their bullcrap. And again, I say, what is wrong with people in this country? And one more thing I'm going to add before I go is, not even with the Tesla terrorists and that's what they are. That's really what they are. And I hope they get everything they got coming to them. I'm just glad that I didn't really care about electric cars in the first place. So I never bought one, but I do care about the rights of people who do care about electric cars to be able to drive their freaking car in peace without having some idiot running their key down the side of it. It's stretched to Germany. So I saw clips on the news today where there were a bunch of weirdos over in Germany with apparently paint cannons. I don't see how they were, unless it was compressed gas that shot the paint, but it shot it probably 20, 30 feet up in the air, all way up at the top of the Tesla dealership in Germany. What the hell has Elon Musk got to do with Germany? Everything that's going on over here is going on over here. Oh, what if people over in Germany are receiving some of the bogus tax money that is going out of this country to the fake NGOs spread all over the place? That's the only thing that really makes sense. Now, if you can come up with another sense, because to me, what is a German protester going to do to make me change? Oh my God, Germany's protesting Tesla. Well, we better fix that in America then, because if the Germans don't like it, we don't like it. Listen, Democrats and liberals, if you want me to listen to what you have to say about your policies, oh wait, they don't have any. But if you did, first, you got to stop terrorizing, destroying, blowing up crap. Because I'm never going to get past that to listen to a single thing that comes out of your mouth. And then, if we can get past that, at least, okay, this isn't working. Here's what I would do to make it better. What are you going to do to make it better? You don't like what Trump's doing? What are you going to do to make it better? I'm going to depose him and I'm going to hate him. Okay. And then what? Depose him some more and hate him some more. And then what? Yeah, shut up. Bring something to the table or just shut up. Everybody's, and you guys are, not you people, maybe some of you maybe, but those guys, the liberal people. Oh, Marilyn Manson, and I don't support Marilyn Manson music, but what was the line he had in one of his songs? They can't see the forest from their trees. They can't smell their own farts on their knees. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a South Park episode once. I don't know if any of you guys saw it or not, but, you know, it was about the new hybrid car move. We're going to do our part. Yeah. Oh, you know, everybody moved to San Francisco because the whole thing that, oh, these are people that their nose is so far stuck up in the air, they love the smell of their own fart. Oh, yeah, yeah, let me punch some more so I can smell my own gas. That's what these people remind me of. And it's absurd. And the reason they don't care, Nancy Pelosi, oh yeah, I got sidetracked. Let me get back to that real quick. Nancy Pelosi, all these old people. You ever wondered why they're like 90 years old? And I'm sure I put the ages back earlier in the video. But they're 90 years old and they're still stealing. You know what? They're going to die soon. Okay, so how much money do you need before you die? Well, see, that's the whole point. I might not even suffer from, well, I'll suffer for a little bit with the disastrous policies that these people put in place. But who's really going to suffer is my kids and your kids. These old people don't care. They're going to be dead by the time this country goes to poo, and they just want to take as much money and live as high on the hog as they can for whatever time they got left. Screw the kids. Screw the kids. I love my kids. You guys, you love your kids? You're willing to sell their future down the toilet? So some fat cat in Washington? Hey, why don't we do this? Let's take all the Democrats, the real liberals who actually support this whole LGBTQ and woke ideology and DEI and all this stuff. You guys want to support that crap, right? What if on tax day you registered which bank account for the government that you want your money to go to, right? You can either pick the liberal Democrat or the liberal bank account or the conservative Republican bank account. And those people that want all this equity, equality, and diversity, you guys can pay for it yourselves. You register as an actual liberal. You want your tax money to go to the liberal cause, and we can send it all over there. And then the rest of us will send our money all over here because we got to pay it anyways. Don't really have a choice to keep our country afloat. And then we'll give you guys like California. All the liberal, you guys go to California, take all of your liberal nonsense money, and you know, we'll start calling it the Rainbow State instead of the Golden State. Send it all over there. And then, you know, when you guys self-destruct because your policies are dumb, they don't work, and you couldn't even keep from burning down half of Los Angeles because you wanted to save a stupid smelt instead of letting water go to a fire hydrant to put somebody's burning house out. How's that smelt saving working for you? So when you guys, you know, self-destruct there in the liberal Republic of California, we're going to put a big wall up around the entire state and just lock you guys in there so you can't bring your stupidity out to the rest of the country like you have been. Thank God there's a majority of Americans in this country that stood up, saw the nonsense, and said, enough. You know what I'm personally waiting for? And I don't know if it'll happen, but I'm personally waiting for little smug Miss Crockett and all AOC and Nancy Pelosi and them to be right. Wouldn't this be beautiful? They're right in the middle of a joint session of Congress, and all of a sudden the Capitol Police come storming in, stop the whole session, and just start arresting them. Oh, that would be beautiful. How do you like me now, liberals? Once again, I'm just getting started. And I don't believe there's a single point of view that I've expressed in this video or will express in the future that's not backed up by the Bible. This is just the point of view that God's been kind of molding on me over my entire life. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to end with this. And everybody, if you've made it this far, pay attention to what I have to say. I'm sure I chopped up a lot of subjects in this video, but man, that's just, my brain is all over the place with this stuff, and sometimes it all just wants to come out at once. But take this to heart, people. The measure of a person's character is not made by what you do so everyone else can see. The measure of a person's character is based on what you do in the private when nobody can see except for God above. That's the measure of a person's true character. That being said, this is 80 Different Directions. I'm Jambo Cloud, and this is the first edition of Jambo's Rants of Common Sense. See you guys next time.